Hello there and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto 3. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 3. In today's episode we're going to find out what that mysterious ringing payphone is in Trenton. So let's get ourselves over there, we'll nick a car and see who is on the other end of that phone near the Bitch and Dog Food Factory. One interesting point of note is the missions that are given to you via this payphone are the only, or it's the only ever storyline missions that do not show up on the map in, I believe, any GTA game. Usually you'll get a little phone icon to signal that you can indeed take contact missions. However, for whatever reason, Okay, cool. For whatever reason, this one does not. We've already got off to a great start. We've destroyed one car. Good. Thankfully it's only a Mignana, so no one cares. Alright, let us come around this corner. They are very close to the Joey missions though, so you may miss this one if you play with the TV on low, but you should be alright. Anyways, the phone's ringing. Let's do this.
Marty, Chonks. I run the Bitch and Dog Food Factory around the corner. I got money troubles, but hey, who doesn't, right? I'm meeting my bank manager later. He's a crooked bastard that keeps bumping up the loan repayment so he can cut a slice. Take my car, pick him up, and bring him back here. I got a little surprise for that blood-sucking leech.
Alrighty, so we are now working for Mr. Marty Chonks, who owns the Bitch and Dog Food Factory. So let's go and do what he says. Grab the car, which is... oh god, it's a perennial. Alright, let's go. And go meet the bank manager. You make a great impression when you bring a perennial. Jesus. One of the slowest cars in the game. If you see one of these on the streets, just run. It'll be quicker than driving one of these things. Anyways, there's a nice little shortcut through here, and there's the Bank of Liberty. And he's not going to question this at all.
Oh, Mr. Chonks sent you, did he? Let's go and pay the fellow a visit.
Indeed, Mr. Jolly. I think I might have been an English accent. I can't really tell. The game's on pretty low volume, so it doesn't come over on the microphone. Let's... thank you. Finally the gate's gonna open. Pretty simple task up to now. Here we go. Drop him off. He's going to walk as slowly as humanly possible. He'll get to the door eventually.
Get your hands off me arse!
And there you go, he's been turned into dog food. So now we have to go and crush the perennial, which I am more than willing to do. So, yeah, you're going to get introduced to the car crusher. You do get introduced to these in the normal story missions. The car crusher is actually used a couple of times during the game's plot, but the car crusher has always been sort of one of my more favoured aspects of GTA 3 because it's a unique aspect of the game. Not quite what I wanted to do. Yeah, it's one of the more unique aspects to the game. Gives you an interesting way to both earn money and... okay, she's not going to be quiet. Yeah, it's one of the more interesting aspects to earn some money and to get rid of cars quickly. Also, I guess you can go ahead and crush every car in the game if you feel that way inclined, although that is not required for 100% completion, thankfully. Although there is a stat. So you park your car in that sort of area, little thing lifts the car up. Interestingly enough, the car has no collision when it's in the air, which is something worth pointing out. There are a couple of glitches where you can actually ride the car crusher into there. Also, as soon as the car's been magnetized, you can pretty much just walk off, and the mission will also complete, but we'll watch the car slowly go into the crusher. There's no collision on that. And there you go. You get $1,000 and also you get a little bit of money for the vehicle being crushed. So there you go. That's the car crusher. And that's the first Marty mission, so we will now head back over there and see if he wants us again. I'm not sure if these missions have a time limit on them, sort of what time in the day you can go ahead and enable them. I will say a couple of times I've been over there and the phone isn't ringing, sometimes it is. So I'm not sure if it's just sort of a weird thing because I mean, some missions are time dependent, you'll see that. Well, I don't know if you'll see that, hopefully you won't, because hopefully I'll sync the times up correctly, but sometimes missions do require you to go there at a certain time, so I don't know if these ones are those missions. I can't find anything on it though, so I'm not sure. So for example, oh, there you go, now the phone's ringing. Let's answer before that becomes an issue. There we go. I don't know if I'll carry on the wanted level into this mission.
I hired some thieves to break into my apartment and steal some stuff so I could claim on the insurance as you do. The thieving bastards are threatening to tell the insurance company if I don't give them a cut. Can you believe it? I left the car inside the factory gates. Use it to go pick them up from their turf in the red light district. Then bring them back to the factory so I can make them see Marty's point of view.
So, if you haven't gathered it already, although you probably haven't considering it's only been 2 missions, Marty's missions are essentially consisting of come, get the phone, someone I need to kill, grab the car, get the person, go crush or go get rid of the car. And they give you a couple of interesting ways, so thankfully this time round we get the much nicer and actually quite cool Sentinel. I really like the Sentinel, and this colour's really nice as well. I'm not sure if this sort of deep blue is a unique colour, I don't think it is, but it is a very nice looking thing. Of course we'll get into more Sentinels as the game goes on. Of course it is the Mafia's gang car of choice. So here are the 2 silly thieves. So we're going to go back to the dog food factory to make them see his point of view. And apparently they aren't going to say a single thing to us, which I'm perfectly fine with. But yeah, I do like the Sentinel. It is a good car. If you're going to pick a car, usually it's a pretty common car as well, which helps. So I'd probably go with this over the Taxi. I'm not sure what the differences are. I know the Taxi is front-wheel drive compared to this, which is rear-wheel drive. So it's sort of a case of just which drivetrain you prefer. But I think the Sentinel might be quicker, although I'm not 100% sure on that. Anyway, these 2 are apparently going to get confused as they head into the factory.
Easy there, partner. Whoa! Put it down. Come on, put it down.
Get the car resprayed to get rid of any evidence. So there you go. We now have to spray the car, so I don't believe you have to destroy the car in this one. That must be one of the upcoming ones. There is a car destroying aspect to it. An interesting car destroying aspect, let's put it that way, which is a little bit difficult, at least for me who hasn't really researched it. Can we head down here? Yeah, I think this is ammunition down here. So try not to kill too many people. Yeah, get out of the way. Try not to kill too many so I don't attract our wanted level. Smash through there. Nice little shortcut. Hidden package in there as well, but you'll see that as the time goes on. But if this mission's going to let us keep the Sentinel, I'm perfectly fine with that. Oh, bring the car back to the factory. Okay, never mind, I don't think we get to keep it. Then another nice colour now, this sort of green, greyish, metallic style. Well, it's not metallic, but yeah, green, greyish colour. Has GTA ever done metallic colour? No, I'm assuming it has. I don't know if they've done them well or not, though. Most games don't particularly do metallic well. They show too much of it, that's the issue, half the time. Metallic isn't, you know, quite as glossy as a lot of games portray it. Oh, I thought you'd want the car there, but never mind. So we'll do a bit of a turn around. There you go. So we just have to dump the car there, apparently. And the phone is not ringing. Right.
I'm gonna get you.
We'll do the usual thing, which is to get out of the local vicinity. And if it doesn't ring, I will jump cut. Mean Street taxis. Picture of a taxi. Cabby. There you go. Logic. This is actually pretty useful, to be fair, on the taxi missions if you need a vehicle. Nope, phone's not going to ring. Well, I guess I will do a quick jump cut here until the phone does start to ring again. So, we are back, and it is a new day here in LC, and the phone is ringing once again. It's time for the wife.
The business is gonna go under unless I get a hold of some serious cash soon. My wife has an insurance policy, and all she's ever been to me is a hole in my pocket. I've left the car in the usual place. Go and pick up my wife from Classic Nails and bring her back to the factory.
He's a remorseless asshole. Right, let's go pick up his car and do the do. I don't think it's a particularly good car from what I remember. No, it's an Esperanto. One of the tougher cars in the game, but not a particularly quick or exciting one. Of course, based on a 70s Eldorado. Fun fact for you, originally, this car was due to have hydraulics, but those got cut and given to the Yardi Lobo, which is the only other car in the game that has hydraulics. It would be nice if I don't kill the car on the way there. That is also another issue with the Esperanto. Suspension is not the best, shall we say. Oh, and neither are brakes, and there's a copper.
Marty wants to see me? Well, it better be quick, because I have to get my hair done.
No, I'm gonna say, he better be quick because the copper's there. Also, sorry, cabby, might have killed it slightly. But do not worry, because this car is not long for this world, so as long as we don't have another major accident, we should be alright. Cars also begin to smoke a lot quicker in this game than they would do in later games, where smoke was sort of where they essentially showed that they were below 50 health. At this point, this car has still got a couple of bumps and scrapes left in it. Although the brakes on the Esperanto are a lot worse than I remember. So once again, they take the long walk to the factory. Jesus, that's a long walk.
Patty! Stop!
Take the car and dump it into the sea. Yeah, you can see the issue here. So, unlike in later GTA games, this is the only GTA game where you cannot dive out of a moving vehicle. If you press the triangle, which was the button you used to get out of the car, it won't do anything. So, there is actually a way to save the car in this mission, and that is by essentially putting it so far in the water that it will submerge itself. But the way to do it, in my mind anyway, is to either push it in or do this, which is essentially grab a somewhat heavier vehicle, just gently push the Esperanto, and there it goes. Cool. Another tasty couple of thousand apparently exploded. Must be very shallow water there. I'm not sure. You can't swim in this game, so I don't know if the water is shallow or not. I'm sure it is, although I'm surprised there's a solid floor. In most of these games they just sort of leave the floor not solid. Anyways, thankfully the phone is ringing for her lover.
Damn, I'm in trouble. Turns out my wife was seeing some guy I owe money to. He's got real angry, and he's looking for payback. I've agreed to see him. He thinks I'm gonna pay him off, but my guess is Liberty's dogs are gonna get yet another flavor this month.
So, once again, pick up a car, drop the guy off, he'll turn him into dog food, and the usual. Right, what car are we getting today? It is, oh, everyone's favourite worst handling thing in the world, the stallion. Although it's not quite the worst handling thing in this game. That Esperanto last time was pretty darn awful. So this is an improvement. I'm probably going to avoid the Esperanto for the future. I usually would avoid it. A little bit quicker than the Perennial. Again, one of the stronger cars in the game. So for ramming missions, it's not a bad choice. But just in terms of if you're just going to pick a car off the streets, I would avoid the Esperanto. As I've said through most of this LP, taxi is usually the best choice in terms of just finding a quick car on the streets.
Marty sent you, huh? Okay, I'm gonna show that creep the meaning of the word business.
And he has a somewhat pathetic voice. So apparently he's going to show Marty business. So let's see how well that goes for him. Judging by the last couple, not very at all. Right. It is very foggy here in Liberty City today as well, which doesn't help. We sort of smacked the right side of the car on the lamppost there. Into the factory we go, if the doors would open. Oh hey, it's Marty, and he's not in the factory for a change.
Carl, hi. I need more time to get your money. But if you just step into my office...
It's far too late for that, Marty. You had your chance, but now I'm taking over the business.
Loser! Oh,
So there we go.
you got in trouble?
He's taking over, but I really like shotguns, so I'm gonna kill him and steal his shotgun, and now no one will ever own the bitch and dog food factory. To be fair, I think only one ammo comes out of there. But yeah, that's Marty dead, and that's the end of Marty's missions, as you could probably expect. So thank you all very much. Thank you all very much for watching this edition of GTA 3. In the next episode, we're going to be taking a look at Joey's missions, the Don's son. We get back to the main storyline. So join us for that. Until then, farewell.
Life is gone, a mere supply of a few good bucks. Then